daily proceedings of this Commission of Inquiry to Local Government Councils and related matters. Without further ado, I have the honor to yield the floor to Madam Chair for our next item on our today's agenda. Madam Chair, over to you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I will call on Honorable Salah to lead us in Muslim prayers and Honorable Joyner to lead us in Christian prayers. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنهض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإنما اليسر فإذا فرغت فانصب إلى ربك فارغب بسم الله إنا أنزلنا في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح ما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق الناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره عظيم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Let us go forth this day in the name of Christ, and may He favor us and give us the supernatural breakthroughs to testify of your goodness today and forevermore. Amen. Good morning, our witness. May God take your seat. Thank you. Our witness, for continuation of your testimony before this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters, may I remind you once again that you are still on the oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I hand over the witness to you, please.
Good morning, Madam Sonko.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
You're welcome back.
Thank you.
Council, you may proceed.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone present. Now we will continue with your testimony. in relation to, we will discuss the Malet issue today as well, for what you know regarding the Malet project and some of the vouchers we have as well to show you, and a continuation of your evidence in relation to the loan acquisition that you guaranteed the welfare association.
Okay.
Now, you know Mariama Fani, of course.
Mariama Fan, yes.
Yes, that's the owner of the land that you the welfare association wanted to buy from.
Yes.
Now, what is your relationship with Mariama Fani?
It's a business relationship.
What do you mean by that?
We were introduced to her when we got information that she has a piece of land that she has put on the market for sale.
How many times have you met Mariama?
I don't think it is more than once.
More than once.
Yeah.
Where do you meet Mariama?
It was when because we were led to her house, to her house.
You were what?
Led to her home
By?
By the land agent.
And why is that necessary to go to her home?
Because we had interacted with the guy before. That was in the case of the kid finder.
Yes.
Yes, and when that one did not go through, after some time later, we received information that there is another property with because the initial one, the problem was the documents to the land could not be produced.
Yes.
So when the guy came across this one with a list documents, he informed us because he knew what got us stopped in the first one.
Yes.
Yes.
So my point now is, why would you, as CEO, why was it necessary to visit Mariama in her home?
No, I did not go alone. The welfare association went.
How many of you went?
Mam Kabo was there and Babukar.
How many of you?
3.
How many is the number that makes up the welfare association's executive?
You have the president. The president should have come. It was if we all agreed to go with him, but I think at the last minute he gave excuse that he lived all the way in Bukama.
Yeah.
That it was okay for Mam Kava and Babukar to go, and because they had put me as an advisor, so I volunteered to.
I am asking because Mariama Fana first gave a statement. She will testify as well. But she mentioned that you went to her house with the treasurer.
With the treasurer?
Yes.
Yes.
And that's Babukar.
Yes.
And you went to her house, and it appears it was on 2 occasions as well.
There was a?
It was on 2 occasions that you went to her house. It appears. How many times have you gone there?
It could be, but I don't think it was more than twice.
Yes.
Because the one I recall fully, it was the first day that we went there.
Yes.
Yes.
And what was the purpose?
To witness what was going on, because I was called up as a signatory to the new account that was opened at Ajib Bank.
Yes.
Yes. So just to witness, not for me to be directly engaged in the negotiation, but to witness what was going on.
Now, as CEO, I am trying to understand why it would be necessary to do business in that nature, in that form. It's so informal for you to accompany the welfare association to a seller's house to discuss business. Was not supposed to be the other way around. If it is purely official, they have to meet people in your office, especially you, the CEO. Will it not be more appropriate?
I believe it is because the welfare was invested in it.
Yes.
And we are so eager to.
But you are not. You are different from the welfare. You have a distinct personality from the welfare.
Yes, that's right. But during that period, everything that they were doing, they were putting me in the picture.
But you, not in your individual capacity, in your capacity as CEO. If you were not the CEO, would they have put you in the picture for
No.
this? That's the issue. They would not have gone. So they would have dealt with whosoever was occupying the position of a CEO at the time. That is the issue. So if Mr. X occupied the office of the CEO at the time, then Mr. X would have been the one that they would have wanted to deal with. You understand?
Yes.
So if you are going to the seller's house to do what? What is your personal interest in visiting together with the welfare association to the seller's house to do what? What interest were you trying to protect?
There was no personal interest.
Okay. So what was the official interest that you were trying to protect?
No, it's just for me to witness the discussions.
That's why I said there was no personal interest going by your statement. But now, was there any official interest?
There was official, yes.
Well, what was the official interest?
Because the welfare was involved.
Yes, but
And as the chief executive officer, I am an ex-official official member of the welfare, and also the vested interest in. I also wanted a plot of land in that, venture.
Mr. Madam, it becomes more complicated. If you say you wanted a plot of land there, it becomes more complicated. It is also would not be proper. That then it would mean that your actions were not entirely genuine. So you going against the mayor's advice would not be genuine because you had a vested personal interest. And as CEO, you are not supposed to have a vested personal interest unless it is legally done. If council has a project, a housing project that is discussed in a normal way, in the normal routine way, everybody can benefit. With the staff development association, you have a role as CEO. So if does it mean that all you were doing was because you also had you also wanted a plot of land from?
No. It was not all that.
But your name was on the list. Was your name on the list? It was.
It was.
It was on the list.
Yes.
Why would that be the case?
Because I expressed my interest in it.
But is that the reason why you were interested in going against the advice of the mayor?
No. That was not the reason.
How would anyone believe that? How would you convince commissioners that was not the reason?
I explained here from the day that I started.
I understand, but now that we know, you had said that you wanted a piece of land, plot of land, and you had an interest in it. So how would the commissioners know that your actions were not were genuine? Your actions were not done in bad faith. The idea that you believe genuinely that you had the powers to do the actions you did, even though you could be wrong, could have been excusable, could have been excused if you were acting in good faith. But were you acting in good faith?
I believe I was.
But your actions say that, madam. I'm sorry. Your actions didn't say that. Your actions were contrary to what you are saying now. They do not denote that you were really genuinely with the belief that what you were doing was proper. Do you understand? What's your interest conflicts? We had discussed the issue of conflict of interest the last time here, together with the council's lawyer, Ms. Senghor Law Practice. We had discussed that. You agreed with me that there was conflict. In my opinion, I don't know what the commissioners think. It's a conflict that you're representing Bajam, who was awarded the contract by KMC, who is also your client, and the mayor as well is also your client. I do not see how it can be argued otherwise. But your case too is a clear conflict in your capacity as CEO. Because you went to the house of the seller.
Because I was invited to go.
Yeah, but it was wrong. It was wrong. The house of the seller is not even the face of the seller to do due diligence. It's the house of the seller. Do you understand? At what time? At what time did you go there?
It was, I want to believe, late in the evening, after close of work.
In the evening, late after close of work. Do you think that would be proper? That if anyone sees you, do you think they can be convinced that you don't have a vested interest? Of course, you had said you wanted a plot of land, but do you think anyone wouldn't have thought that you wanted extra benefits?
If it was purely council's activities, I would not have gone that far. But in the case of the Staff Welfare Association,
there's nothing that council does that will be purely council's activity.
I mean, the management of the welfare is a separate body.
Yes.
From my responsibilities.
Yes.
As the in terms of managing the council's affairs.
But they have a link. They have a link. They have a link, and that's the reason as to why, in your capacity as CEO, they needed a guarantee. Do you see that?
Yes.
So there's always this thing. So I said council does not do any activity that is purely council's activity. It depends on the sense that you're talking about. But my point is, whatever is done is for the benefit of the people that council serves. So you were not CEO at a certain point in time. You never have been invited. Like right now, this welfare association will never invite you in your capacity, any of your capacity in representing KMC. They want to work with someone that has authority.
Right.
And the CEO has authority. Do you understand? The CEO has authority. And so that's why they want to work with you.
Right.
So going there in the evening too, that would not sit well with anyone that gets that information. So our position is not wrong to do that. Entirely wrong to do that. To go official hours to visit the seller. That's the issue. So the other issue is, you will agree it will be difficult to establish the fact that because of your personal interest to acquire land, that your actions were legitimate.
I thought I was helping the welfare association to achieve their goals.
Right.
Yeah.
So where did you sign the agreement with Fanny?
I did not sign. It's the welfare executive that signed.
When was it signed? Were you present?
You know, they had a lot of consultation with me. Even if I am not present, I would always see it, review it before it is signed.
So were you present when it was signed?
I think they signed and then took it to her office to sign.
I always like to say that if I say were you present, it requires a direct.
No, I was present.
Okay. Right. Now, the other issue I want us to discuss is in relation to the Malet project. Yes, the Malet project. But when you came to KMC, regarding the revenue of KMC, were you available any evidence regarding the baseline as to what the revenue would have been at the time?
Yes, I believe.
You were?
Yes.
Was it in the document form?
We have our weekly reviews of our bank balances. So through that, we got to establish, at the time, the baseline of the revenues.
All right.
Yes.
Now, when you came in with respect to the Malet project, the trucks that were actually acquired from Express Motors, these negotiations have already started with Express Motors. Do you know?
No, when I joined the council, they had already acquired the trucks. Yeah, everything was done and concluded, and the trucks were in operation.
How many?
19 trucks.
19.
Yes.
You had an issue with the trucks. You had an issue with the contract agreement and everything.
Right.
What was your concern?
In my briefing with the mayor, that was the first day that I reported to work.
Yes.
He explained the Malet project, the establishment of the Malet project.
Yes.
And he informed me that it was a PPP arrangement with Espas Motors.
Yes.
Then I did not have time to go through the contract agreements and other arrangements relating to the Malet project. So I took it as that. And from my understanding of PPP, council was not supposed to spend or was not supposed to be responsible for the repayment of the facility that was used to acquire the trucks.
Yes.
Yeah, I was informed by him, again, the mayor, that when the trucks came into the country, for the council to clear the trucks from the ports, they wanted a duty waiver from government, but that was not granted. And according to him, he said he felt that was wrong. Council should have been supported.
Yes.
And I also was not happy about it. But at the time, I did not know that. I was with the understanding that council was entirely responsible for the procurement. I did not know that the trucks were procured by Espas, imported into the country by Espas. And so it was supposed to be Espas that was supposed to pay for the clearance of the trucks at the ports. Yeah, so, but as time goes on, as I started becoming familiar with the arrangements, and I was asked to liaise with Espas for them to deliver the reserve truck that was not delivered, because from what he told me that there was supposed to be another truck to be used as reserve that was procured.
Yes.
Yeah, it was among the lot, and that was delivered, but that one was left behind. So he advised me to liaise with the management of Espas for them to deliver the one that was outstanding. So I think after that the KMT issue also came in, and the ministry had the information. So one morning I went to the ministry to make follow-ups on certain issues.
Yes.
And I was called into the minister's office and advised that they have learned that the minister and the PS told me in the minister's office that they have learned that we are about to establish a municipal bus transport.
Yes.
So they put me in the picture of what transpired in the case of the Malet trucks, and they are advising me as the CEO to be careful of what I am getting myself into.
What did they say transpired in the Malet trucks?
They said when the minister told me the mayor sought his advice about the project.
Yes.
And he gave the mayor the advice to liaise with the PPP unit of the Ministry of Finance.
Yes.
And mayor did not do that.
Yes.
Yeah, they went ahead with what they wanted to do, to pass a general council resolution to work with experts rather.
Yes.
To work with experts on PPP basis, according to the mayor. From what I realized in the document, there was no PPP. The trucks were fully repaid by the council. Experts was just used to buy the trucks and to bring them, yes, into the country.
Now, who paid the tax, you said?
The council.
Council.
Yeah. So with the advice from the ministry, they did not do. They did not do that. Yeah, they did not consult PPP, and the council did their own arrangement. So when the trucks came in, they wanted the duty waiver from the ministry. So ministry could not grant them or facilitate, because they did not heed to the minister's advice. So this is the information that I received from, and the minister went ahead to show me the invoices from the factory invoices against the prices of the trucks. Yes. So from what I saw, to import a truck, that kind of truck to the country, it was about 3.5 or 3 million, under $3 million. And for them, it was about $5 million per truck.
So you believe prices were inflated?
Yes, that's right.
Now, the insurance, the trucks came and they were insured.
Yes.
Correct? But before that, the issue regarding the income tax, it was paid during your time? As CEO, it was paid before.
Yes, you mean the import duties?
Yes.
No. It was not paid during my time, but they passed the general council resolution. Yeah, for council to pay the duty waiver, and it was about
That's correct.
yeah, 1.3 million. Oh yeah.
Now,
Dollars,
the trucks were in town, they had to be insured.
Yes, they had to be insured.
You said in your statement, that page 13 of the statement dated the 2nd of March 2020, paragraph 4, number 4, you said, number 5, sorry, the fact that more than 50% of the insurance cover for the Malet trucks was being given to Takaful Insurance Company, who is a family business of the mayor. What were you trying to say here?
Yeah, the mayor's family has a share.
In Takaful?
Yes, in Takaful.
And so the insurance was done during your time as CEO?
Yeah, I found it there.
The insurance, I mean.
The insurance, yeah, I found that half of the trucks were insured by Takaful, and the other half was distributed among insurance companies.
Now, did they, who paid for the insurance?
The council.
The council?
Yes.
Why is that? Do you know?
No.
Now, with respect to insurance, do you know whether KMC followed due process procurement regulations to also allow insurance companies to bid for the insurance of these trucks? Do you know?
Definitely, I cannot tell.
You have no idea.
Yes.
Now, the CEO at the time before you was the acting CEO.
Yes.
You were privy to, have you had chance or by any means to have access to the procurement documents in relation to the Malet trucks when you came to examine?
Before I came in?
No, when you came in as CEO to review the contracts or the bidding documents, did you have time to do that?
No, I did not. But when I came in, I found them had issues with Ajib Bank.
Yes.
What
were these issues?
The Ajib Bank froze their main account, so they could not withdraw or do anything from it because they defaulted in the repayment of the loan.
Yes.
Yeah, because they have accounts with Ajib Bank. They have the Malet project account. They have a council account, and I think they have an investment account with Ajib Bank. So in all the accounts, they could not do anything in it because they defaulted in the repayment of the loan. The project account was performing because what was being realized monthly was far below their monthly repayments. So they were not performing as expected. So Ajib had to freeze the council main account. So it was because of that, council wrote to Ajib Bank, promising them that $40 million was now being budgeted every year from council's main budget,
Yes.
not from the Malet project.
Yes.
For the repayment of the trucks. So that was the issue I was not comfortable with because that $40 million, from what I understood, that it is PPP. If it is PPP, then the project is supposed to repay to fund itself. But that was not the case. Now council is falling back on the taxpayers' money to repay the loan because that's the guarantee that they gave Ajib Bank through a letter And I got to have access to that letter because the then MD of Ajib Bank, Mr. Nuha Marina, the late Mr. Nuha Marina, came to the council with his team. I think Mr. Samba Fai, was part of that meeting, if I am right. Mr. Samba Fai, the late Mr. Nuha Marina, and I think a lady, I'm not sure, Asali Matu. Yes. But I can fully recall Mr. Fai and the late Nuha Marina. They came to the council to make that follow-up. And when we had that agreement that now council would be repaying the loan from the main council fund.
When were they making this follow-up at Ajib? After they had paid, after they had agreed to finance the purchase of the trucks, and after they had disbursed monies?
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, I do.
They came to make follow-up.
Follow-up after the trucks were in, after monies were disbursed, and now it was time to start servicing the loan, and council started defaulting.
And so the bank wanted a guarantee.
No, it was not a guarantee. It was a sort of a reassurance to say that the council, a letter was written in that regard. Council would budget $40 million from the council's main account or revenues to be repaying the loan for a period of.
This was sent to Ajib Bank.
Yes, it was sent.
Who wrote the letter? You, as CEO?
No. It was signed by Mr. Sirif Nye.
In his capacity.
That was done, I think, few days later. I joined the council. Yes.
But it was done after the purchase of the trucks.
Yes.
Which means Ajib already financed these trucks.
Yes.
And then now the payment to get their money back was a problem.
Was a problem.
And so they had to tie council down in relation to having them to have an undertaking that they would, regardless, pay these monies from other sources, though they know that the trust cannot fund itself.
There was no even a collateral for the trucks, except the trucks themselves.
Yes. Trucks were supposed to serve as a guarantee in addition to the revenue it generates.
Yes.
Was supposed to be used to pay off the debt or the loan that was contracted. And
they were advised by the minister not to go ahead with that arrangement because it was not viable.
I understand.
Yes.
We are not
to liaise with the PPP union for them to advise them to get an arrangement that would benefit the council and the people at the end of the day.
I understand that. I'm just trying to get the facts right. The idea is first, Ajib, before you came, Ajib accepted to finance the purchase of these trucks.
Yes.
And the only guarantee that they have is that the trucks would service the loan.
Yes.
When they are collecting revenue, the trucks, this Malet project, the monies used would be used towards servicing the loan.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But that did not prove to be viable.
No.
Trucks could not generate enough revenue to pay back the money that was taken from Ajib, correct?
At the beginning, they were realizing about 800,000 a month, and the monthly repayment was supposed to be about $3 million.
Yes. So they could not.
They could not.
So your evidence is that they came back, Ajib Bank came back to the ministry.
To the council.
To the council, sorry.
Yes.
To ask that council give them an assurance, a written assurance.
Yes.
To say that we are going to pay you, we are going to have a budget, we are going to allocate a certain fund from the general funds to pay you towards the offsetting the loan.
Yes.
And it was done.
Yes, instead of from.
Was this not supposed to be done earlier at the time of the negotiations with the bank? And as far as to know how the finances of the trust would happen?
I believe that should have been the right procedure.
Any questions regarding the trucks before I move to vouchers?
Yes, Madam Sonko, then it will be correct to say that the council did not do what they ought to have done with respect to their projections in terms of revenue collection to be able to pay
right
for the trucks when they come in.
That's correct.
And what did you understand by Section 12 of the Local Government Finance and Audit Act, which talks about the financial autonomy of council? What do you understand by that? Because I could understand that you've told us the then minister advised that they should not go ahead with the purchase of these trucks because they will not be able to honor the agreement.
Yes.
And despite that, they went ahead and did it through a council resolution. So in relation to that, what do you understand by the financial autonomy?
Yeah, the council has a degree of financial autonomy, but if you look at the relationship of the council and with the ministry has an oversight function over the council, and anything that is being spent out of the taxpayers' money must be in line with the Finance and Audit Act. Otherwise, it will not be legal.
Yes. So is there any provision from your understanding where the council is supposed to seek some advice or some authorization if they have to engage in some certain huge investments, which has to tie down the taxpayers' money? Do the ministry have to intervene at a point, of course, in collaboration with the council, to give advice and direction?
Yeah, that is the oversight function that the ministry has over council, because the councils are
In terms of financial limitation, is there any role that the ministry has to play, to your understanding?
I am not clear about any laid down rule, but I know the councils are subvented by government through the ministry. Yes, and because of that, I want to believe there should be some financial control. The ministry should have some financial control. It's debatable, but I believe.
Please read for me. Let me hand you over the local government finance and audit act 2004 and read me section 13, and you tell me what your understanding is with respect to this, whether to your understanding during the process of
Section
section 13.
13.
Yes, you start from section 12, the Finance and Audit Act, not the local government.
Yes, the Finance and Audit Act.
Yes.
Section 12, Financial Autonomy of Councils.
Yes.
So, subject to the provisions of this act and any other act, each council has autonomy over its financial matters, excluding salaries, advances, and other emoluments. So,
sorry, it's allowances.
Yeah, allowances and other emoluments.
Okay. Section 13.
Section 13. No appropriation of funds by a council shall be made out of the funds of the council unless it is approved in a budget.
Now, my question is, were these amounts budgeted for as at the time of the agreement?
No.
Council, you may proceed. Thank you so much.
Okay. When you were CEO, there was an issue regarding the deletion of entries.
Council, you started, sorry, my apologies.
Yes.
You started discussing about the payments to Cyber Money last Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah, about the COVID-19 rise.
Right, correct.
Yes.
That's true. We will come back to that.
Okay.
We'll come back to that. We will come back to that. Now, the deletion in relation to I have a document here I will show. It's also captured in the reports as well. There's a period that there were missing receipts about $297,941. That was dated in the system. I'm not sure whether you recall this. Do you recall this?
Yeah, it was brought to management's attention during my time.
Let me show you a letter written by Sheriff Njai as well.
Okay. And may I add that, Council, before we treat that one, the staff of the project, the Malet project, were paid by the council as well. And they were supposed to be paid by the project.
The staff of the Malet project?
Yes, staff of the Malet project, because they were not main staff of the council.
Yes.
Yes, so their salaries, their allowances, everything was borne by the council.
But why were they paid by the council?
Because the project was not making enough money to be able to take care of its recurrent costs. Even the maintenance of the trucks was also borne by the council.
In addition to the
salaries
that were paid as well.
Yes, and there was a time I realized that even those salaries, income tax was not deducted from the salaries of the staff.
You stated in your statement, but did you query this?
Raise
this issue.
I raised it in the mayor's office in the presence of the finance director, and
who was the finance director at the time?
Dr. Allowances, and I asked them to take immediate action, because if GRA found out, we might be liable for economic crime.
Yes, but was that issue solved in any manner?
In the following month, I didn't see them take any action. Then I called the project manager.
Yes.
And I advised him to take care of it with immediate effect. Even with that, I don't know now.
Who was the project manager?
The Bakari Singate.
Bakari Singate.
Yes, was the project manager at the time.
So, but the issue of the salary, you will have to sign up for it. You would have to approve.
Yes.
But why would you approve their salaries if they were to be paid by the project itself?
Because I was hoping that they would heed to my advice, but that was not done.
But still, with the idea that you would even agree that they should pay, that it was wrong, but why would you as CEO continue to?
I didn't realize it in time. When I realized it and gave instruction, in fact, I had in mind that I was going to write so that I would have evidence to say that I had raised this issue.
In the beginning, you had a good working relationship with the mayor.
Yeah, but when I came across, or when I realized that income tax was not being deducted from the salaries of staff of the project.
Yes.
I genuinely raised it in the mayor's office.
Yes, I know.
And I also called the project manager.
Yes.
But when no action was taken, I had planned to write.
Yes.
To formally to the mayor.
Right.
And to keep my copy. But before that could happen, I traveled to Dakar, and this issue came up before I returned from my
travel. How many months have you paid the staff in the Malet project before?
No, I paid them for about an year or so.
About a year or so?
Yes, before realizing it, to be frank.
But it was a project.
That was the problem.
Yeah, it was a project. So what made you to continue paying? That's why I'm saying, was it an issue of you having a good relationship with the mayor at the time?
No,
there were no issues in the beginning.
No, there were issues at the beginning. At the beginning, the relationship was good. Yes. But as I settled in, and I started discovering or realizing anomalies here and there, our differences also started coming up. Yes.
All right. My question is, if something is wrong, then it has to be classified as falling within the category of wrongdoings. And so the idea that you have a project, when you came in as CEO, you knew there was a project going on, and of course you are highly qualified. That's why you were appointed. It would have been more prudent to raise these things and probably put it in writing that payments were made to or are being made to the staff of the Malet project, and they are not supposed to be paid by the council itself, and so this project is wrong unless other actions are taken to rectify them. Do you understand?
Yes,
Back to the issue of the deletion. How was this issue dealt with? $297,951 for the 3 bottles of monies received entered in the system, but were erased subsequently. Can you tell us what you know about this? Was done about this decision? You were the CEO at the time?
Yes.
Yes.
So when it was brought to the management's attention,
Yes.
we also forwarded it to the establishment and appointment committee.
Yes.
Yes, and the establishment and appointment committee held a meeting. Yes, I think that was the only meeting that I remember.
What was the meeting about?
About this deletion of receipts from the system.
Yes.
Yes.
Was this issue ever resolved?
Was the
issue ever resolved? Were actions taken?
From that meeting, the advice was to engage the system developers. To engage the system developers to come and explain how it could be possible to delete receipts from the system.
They explained.
Hmm?
They explained to the.
Yeah, but that didn't find me there.
Okay.
Yeah. So from what I understood, or from the point that I left things, the system developers were supposed to be engaged to come and explain to the council. Yes, so that's where I left things.
That's why you stopped.
Yeah.
You left when?
In July 2021.
2021.
Yeah, that's when they sent me home.
We have a correspondence dated the 28th of December 2020. Calvin Municipal Council by the Deputy Director of Finance. That's your
Yeah, this was when Siri wrote about this for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Director of Finance, address CEO is copied, Lord Mayor is copied, IT Manager, Finance Manager 1. Let me show you what we are talking about. Please go to the document. It's a permitted so that I permit.
Yes, exactly. This is what he brought to the attention of the
Yes, let me have a
management.
We implemented the California Municipal Council memo addressed to the Director of Finance, Chief Executive Officer, the Lord Mayor is copied, and IT Manager, Finance Manager 1, signed by the Deputy Director of Finance, Philip Njai at the time.
A memo dated the 28th of December 2020 with reference KMC/FIN/342 This is from the Deputy Director of Finance, and it is addressed to the Director of Finance, copied to the Chief Executive Officer, also copied to the Lord Mayor, IT Manager, Finance Manager 1, and IAD, with the subject missing receipts in brackets confidential. It is signed by Serif Njai. The said memo is admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/SMS/KMC/10012.
Ask the Commission, please. May I please have the exhibit?
Could be 0111.
Ask the Commission, please.
Repeat again.
Ask them.
The memo dated the 28th of December 2020 with the reference KMC/FIN/342. It emanated from the Deputy Director of Finance. It is addressed to the Director of Finance, Chief Executive Officer, Lord Mayor, IT Manager, Finance Manager 1, and IAD, with the caption missing receipts and in brackets confidential. It is signed by Serif Njai. The said memo is admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/SMS/KMC/011.
Ask the Commission, please. May I please have the exhibit? Yes, so Sri Njai raised this issue. He said in the memo that missing receipts and marked in bracket confidential. It says, based on the internal audit director's query on the missing receipts, we discovered that the receipts were drawn and printed and issued to the taxpayer but deleted from the system. I have collected the hard copies of the three major amounts. And this will make of the $297,941 for the photos. I further verified the bankings on these particular dates, and I found out that the missing receipts amount excluded from the banking causing a total deficit of $297,941 for the within June 2024 of the cash year. I should explain how does this shortage happen. Not only were the receipts deleted, but he went further to do a reconciliation.
Yes.
A bank reconciliation. And he found out the monies that were deleted were actually received and they were not taken to the
Deposited.
Yes. This should not, this is not a major, it's not a complicated problem to solve.
Right. But as
you were the CEO.
Yeah, but
Correct?
yes, I was a
20 December.
Yeah, December 2020.
You left in July?
I left in July.
So what did you do?
It was forwarded, like I said, to the Establishment and Appointment Committee.
7 months. You had 7 months.
Yeah, that's how things work there. When it is not, that's how things work there. Yeah.
How?
We
7 months.
we had the meeting, and Srif himself was tasked to liaise with the system developers because he is the one who is the council interface between the system developers and the council. So he was to liaise with them and come back. So until I left.
No, but 7 months you had. You would have had the spots at the senior management level. You would have tasked the establishment committee to find out the problem in this with respect to this issue, and then you meet the mayor every single day, and you have your SMT almost once a week or once a month. I don't know, but there was enough time to discuss this issue and address the issue. What was holding you as CEO to not come to a conclusion in this matter?
I was waiting for the Establishment and Appointment Committee.
How long? Would you wait for them?
Until I left,
7 months,
I believed.
2 months.
No, the meeting was not convened immediately at the time when Sirip raised this. I think it took about weeks.
Why?
Well, he will be in a better position to answer that. The establishment and appointment.
Did you discuss this with the mayor?
It was discussed, of course.
So what was the action point to be taken?
For the establishment and appointment committee to investigate the issue
And
and report to the general council.
And what was the time given to them?
I cannot recall if there was a timeline given. Yes.
So this issue was never addressed.
It was never addressed when I was there.
Do you? My problem with you mainly is that it appears that maybe you came in newly, maybe you can explain the condition, but it appears that you had a problem dealing with some issues for whatsoever reason at KMC, and some issues that you would ordinarily deal with. These are issues that can be easily dealt with, but for whatever reason, they were not really adequately addressed. And there must be a reason as to why you would not address these issues, because you manage the daily affairs of the area council. It's not up to the mayor entirely to dictate what is done. So even if you have a daily briefing with the mayor every single day, like you genuinely thought that you had the powers to sign a guarantee, there's some rights that you have as seen.
Left to me alone, this matter would have been concluded a long time ago.
But how
No,
how will we exclude you from this?
It's
not doing your work.
It was not my single decision to have this issue concluded. The establishment and appointment committee needed to do the investigations thoroughly.
Yes.
Yes. So
that was never done.
Sirif should have engaged the system developers and report to management. But Sirif never got back to the CEO about the issue.
But the senior management never also followed. The mayor never followed up.
I don't know when I left, but when I was there,
it's an adequate time to address this issue. The mayor never really did anything.
No.
You never did anything.
No.
Substantial enough to address the issue. The senior management itself, comprising of the mayor all the way down to the CEO and your directors, you never really addressed this issue properly and adequately. And it's an issue of corruption and mismanagement of funds and stealing. These were crimes that were allegedly committed. So for whatever reason, even when you were there in KMC at the time, none of you took the issue of corruption seriously. For whatever reason. Why was that?
I was doing everything within my means.
No, but within your means.
But I was also limited. Yes.
Now I have vouchers. I'll also show you. Yes, yes.
Madam Sonko, you are aware of the responsibility that has been outlined in the financial manual. Is that correct?
Please.
I said you are aware of the responsibility of the CEO in terms of dealing with the revenues of council.
Yes.
As provided for in the financial manual.
Yes.
So do you think it was prudent on your side not to have written after you have seen delay in trying to get this issue sorted out? Because I believe this is what has also created a problem in the system having to collapse at one point.
I agree. I should have written, but also at the same time, I was bombarded with too many issues that it was difficult for me to really focus on a particular issue. But this, well, I totally agree, was a serious problem and should have been resolved with immediate effect.
All right, thank you. I just have one issue. During your time, um, sorry, Council, this may be a bit out of context, but I just want to find out from a CEO. On the issue of salary scale, emoluments, and other and allowances, um, during your time, aside from the senior cadre, um, who are the people that will determine the salaries and allowances of the junior cadre that have been employed by the council?
Is the council?
Is the council?
Yes.
Do they have mandate to do that?
They have mandate, but the proposal must be forwarded to the ministry to approve.
Yes, because based on the provision that you have earlier read, and it is saying, with the exception of this, and it's a provision that is cutting across, whether it's senior cadre or junior cadre. So, which means if the council appoints the junior cadre, it must send those appointments
To the
and
ministry.
salary allowances for the ministry for endorsement
Yes,
before you act on it.
that's right.
During your time, did you make any appointments and paid people's salary with the approval of the ministry?
Appointments were made, but they were never forwarded to the ministry.
Why was that? Or was it because you people were above the law? So
No,
you cannot comply with the laws that govern you to run the council?
no, I would not say that.
So why didn't you send during your time the appointment and the salaries you have identified and other emoluments for the staff that you have employed for the ministry to endorse? Because if the ministry failed to do otherwise, you have written evidence which could be held against them, because it's their responsibility to make sure that they respond to you on time and to do what is expected of them to do. Is that not correct?
Yes.
But when you fail to send it to them to do and you do what you decide to do, is that in line with what the law is saying?
No, it is
Thank
not.
you. Council, you may proceed.
Yes, so the COVID relief in 2020, we have a voucher dated 17th of April 2020, where payments were made to Shabin Mali. A voucher was raised. The description is exhibit number LGC, KMC, SMS-KMC-010. It says main payment for 3,000 bags with rise for KMC response to COVID-19 pandemic as per memo attached. And these are monies that were realized from two donations, right? It
Yes.
says donation record in bracket non-KMC funds. I don't know what it means. If you receive donations, it is KMC funds. The law says that the revenues of council donations are part of it. Money should receive
That's right. Council,
part of it.
please, can I see the
The voucher.
again? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Because I have doubt with the second one.
With the second what? Second
The-
payment.
The second authorization sent to Trust Bank.
So I will show you the voucher. It's signed by Director of Finance, Chief Executive Officer, inter audit stamped and signed. It is accompanying the voucher is a request for food relief from Lyman S. Sanya. Letter addressed to CEO and Lord Mayor. Shabin A. Madi gave an invoice, it's attached. The invoice is $1,680,000 addressed to County Municipal Council. The Finance Committee passed a resolution.
Mhm.
And we have the KMC authorization for basic bank transfer, $1,680,000, and also the one sent to Trust Bank for bank transfer of the same amount. Please have a look at the voucher.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Good.
I can recall everything about this payment,
Please,
but
please speak into the microphone.
I can recall everything about this payment, but my worry is this one,
Which one is?
the trust bank.
Why is
Because it seems the payment is double. I don't know why. And this signature doesn't seem to be my signature. It is different. I don't know how come. On the same 17th of April 2020, an authorization is sent to Basic Bank and to Trust Bank.
which one did you sign?
I signed both.
You signed authorization.
But this signature, this one,
Which one is that?
the Trust Bank one,
Yes.
unless it is verified that it was sent, I'm not sure.
Okay.
It was the transaction took place. I'm not sure about this one. But about the donations, the COVID-19 donations.
Yes.
I have receipts of payment into council accounts here with me.
Yes.
So when the COVID-19 hit,
Yes.
a task force was formed by the council. Yes, and in the task force, you have various stakeholders, the police,
Yes.
the Red Cross, NDMA, NEA, stakeholders.
Yes.
And I think our secretary was the governance advisor, Mr. Philip Spencer. He used to take the minutes of the task force meetings.
Yes.
It was agreed that donations received by council will be received by the CEO,
Yes.
and cash donations.
Yes.
And donations in kind would be received by the director of services.
Yes.
So I was responsible for receiving the cash monies
Okay.
from individuals, from companies in the country.
Yes.
So I have receipts of those payments here. So I remember,
This is for all the donations that were received.
yeah, all the donations that I received.
Okay.
And most of the time, these were received in front of the camera. The TV would be around for the presentation. And other media houses, the radios. So I would be asked to receive these donations in the presence of everyone.
Yes.
I remember Africell donated $300, 300,000, sorry. Africell donated $300,000. Top Africa Global donated $100,000, and I think the Gambia Chamber of Commerce too about $200,000. All the receipts are here.
Yes.
So when I started receiving these donations,
Let me
about
we can have them admitted.
Yes, please can you make
proceed
copies
from
for me, because these are my original copies, or you make copies and give me the original.
Where is it? We apply to tender the following Carnival Municipal Council receipts, evidencing donations received for the COVID-19 relief fund, correct?
Yes.
The first is received by the SAINABOU MATIN SONKO, the witness. The amount is $100,000. Donations from Reliance Financial Services for the fight against COVID. 2nd of April 2020. The second is received by the witness, $11,500.
Women gardeners, if I am right.
Yes, received from the women gardeners. If we have an amount of $50,000 is received for the COVID-19, it's from DT Bank?
50,000.
Yes.
So I have an Excel sheet detailing the amounts and the institutions.
Those who gave the donations should write the initial name on top.
Yeah, that because I requested for it, but the initial ones that was not done by the finance director.
So what we do then, because yes, there are some that do not have the names of the people that gave this donation. So
I have an Excel sheet that I even shared that with the investigators.
all right.
Yes.
So please provide that, have a cover note.
Okay.
Explain all these receipts.
Yes.
Attach it there.
Yes.
Then when you come back, you can even do that during break today.
Okay.
Or you come back tomorrow and we have it admitted.
Yes. So, but just to say that,
yes.
we'll
give this back to you.
Yes.
And you can do the needful.
Yes. Thank you.
By tomorrow, latest you bring it.
Thank you.
But proceed with your evidence.
So, because of these funds were used to procure the rice.
Yes.
So when I started receiving these donations from people,
yes.
I think about 2 or 3 receipts. I was called upon by the mayor.
Yes.
And he advised me that let me hand over the monies to the director of finance.
Okay.
Yes. So when he advised that, I almost went ahead with that advice, but I advised myself, if I do this, where would I get evidence that these monies were handed over to the director of finance? That's how I advised him that you need to write a receipt to me in my name to show that I actually have paid these monies into the council's account. So when we did as I requested, we were advised to pay the monies. Sometime later, he inquired with the director of finance if I actually handed the monies to the director of finance, and he confirmed. But with the director of finance confirmed that I have paid and I was receipted. So they advised that let the monies be taken to Basic Bank. We have an account there that was dormant.
Yes.
At that time. So we can deposit the COVID-19 donations into that account until further notice. So we were going along with that advice. Any amount that was received by me, I would also pay it into the council's account through the director of finance, who would hand it over to his staff to go and deposit into Basic Bank.
Yes.
So one fine morning, during the COVID-19 period, the mayor called me in his office and informed me that his brother, Abdul Aziz Bensouda, has negotiated with Simon Madi for the council to procure, is it about 3,000 bags of rice?
Yes.
Yeah, to be given to residents in the municipality as a relief.
Yes.
Yes. So they gave us the amounts to be paid. That's how we went ahead to process the payment to Simon Madi.
That, if what you're saying is how it went, that would have been very unlawful and very illegal.
Right.
The brother of the mayor, Bensouda, is a lawyer you're referring to that you had met on several occasions during meetings, through Zoom meetings, and also been a member of the Waste Management Task
Force. Yes.
That would not be proper. That would be wrong. The mayor's brother does not dictate procurement in council. Why would you allow that as CEO?
Well, for me, because it was donations, my mind did not click to that.
Still, if you are to have it wrong, the manner in which it should operate for any procedural guidelines you have to follow as a CEO or vice director or mayor, if you have to have it wrong, You have it wrong. In good faith, you may be excused. I always say that. But the idea that you disregard procurement would not, number one, may not be excusable as counsel. Number two, the idea there will be a direct conflict. Remember, the mayor's brother was the legal advisor, the law office to counsel. When in 2018 they had Senghor law practice on grounds that would be a conflict to continue with the family law office.
Yes.
So it will also be very inappropriate to even sanction payments along those lines. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So why would you allow that? Let me read to you the resolution we have on 31st of May 2018. 31st of May 2018, KMC resolution. It says on page 4, resolution 14, that whereas members want to avoid a potential conflict of interest regarding Ami Bensouda and Co. law practice, who are the external retained lawyers of counsel, whereas the aforementioned law firm submitted notice of termination of their contract due to the relationship that exists between the firm and the Lord Mayor, whereas the aforementioned law firm wants to allow the council to choose a new legal advisor, resolve that Ami Bensouda and Co. LP be allowed to continue representing council as they have agreed to serve the notice period at no cost to council, and also assist the institution in that period to build an internal legal unit as well as the hire external advisors. They recognize the conflict. They accept the conflict. They put it in writing.
Yes.
But it appears there was no representation in a form of an underground representation.
Yeah, because
shadow representation. If it ever cross your mind as CEO, you should say no to that.
That's right. He was advising him. He said because he was a personal advisor to him, as he was advising him personally.
The mayor or any chairman or any mayoress, they were never elected to serve their personal interests. They don't have any personal business in council. And I repeat that. No mayor or chairman or mayoress have any personal interest in the administration of your functions as you have been elected by the people. If you have your company, if you have your business, you run it with whosoever you want to work with, not public funds. Where there exists a conflict in public funds, you are mandated to desist from that. It's a cardinal principle. No one doubts that. It's even recognized by KMC themselves. They even passed a resolution to that effect. So it's not like there's a contention. So if you come as CEO in any capacity, any area council that you're working with, and you see that, you should not be afraid to say no. It cannot happen. I cannot act on the advice given to you by your own family member or by your own former lawyer who happens to be a family member. Do you share?
Yes.
The same opinion?
Yes, that's right.
You understand?
Yes.
Now, what is the problem? The more problem about that is the fact that these amounts were paid to Shabin Imai to confirm whether there was a stable payment or not. But of course, monies were paid to Shabin Imai.
Yes, monies were paid to.
Let me give to you back. You probably will tell me the minutes in this voucher.
So this is from the Director of Services to the Acting Chief Executive Officer.
Please come again.
To the Acting Chief Executive Officer and copy to the Lord Mayor. Request for food relief. The date is 14 April 2020.
Yes.
You want me to read the request or the minutes only?
Minutes first. No, the request first.
The request. As a result of the state of emergency declared by the government to prevent the spread of the coronavirus in the country. Businesses and other commercial activities interrupted, schools closed, and many families undergoing hard times, especially the vulnerable and less privileged families. To remedy this unfortunate situation, council plans to distribute relief items in the form of rice to the deserving households in each ward. In this regard, I hear a request for the procurement of 3,000 bags of rice, 25 kg, to be distributed among 3,000 vulnerable households who are affected by the effect of the COVID-19. Thank you for your usual support and collaboration.
Who wrote this request?
Lamin Estanyan, Director of Services.
And who is it addressed to?
To the Acting Chief Executive Officer.
And were there any individuals or office departments copied?
It was copied to the Lord Mayor.
Now, when was that action minuted?
Please?
Was that request minuted?
Yes, it was.
Please guide us through the minutes part.
It says here, CEO, the COVID-19 fund is sufficient to pay. It's sufficient to pay the whole price amount, and here it is written on the. It's not clear.
Now, who wrote that?
This one is this one I want to believe is Sirif Njai's
Right.
signature.
Was this issue discussed in your daily briefings with the mayor?
Yes, it was discussed.
And what was the instruction?
The first time I received instruction in this regard was when he informed me that his brother has negotiated. I think a general council resolution was even passed to via $1 million from the council's travel budget to be used towards this relief support to residents in the municipality. So after that general council resolution, it was announced. It was announced, and at the same time, people were also making donation.
Yes.
Yes, just like I explained earlier. So he called me in his office and told me that Aziz has negotiated with Simon A. Mahdi to supply us the 25 kg bags of rice, 3,000 at a reduced price. Yes.
How do you know what the price were reduced? Can I please have the voucher? How do you know the price were reduced? How would you know?
I think at the time the 25 kg.
But how would you know the price were?
No, I did not know the price. I did not, but I think at the time the 25 kg was about 7 something, and I think they said they got it for $700.
Where is the evidence? Someone may sell it for $600.
I don't have evidence.
Someone may sell it for $500. Someone may even go way cheaper. You understand? That is how the procurement works. That is how our procurement regulations work. You must have value for money. You understand that? We don't leave our procurement, the public procurement, in the hands of private individuals who don't work for the institution, who are not qualified to administrate, to administer the procurement, who are not mandated by law to administer the procurement. This, as CEO, and like I'm saying, you should know. I would tell any CEO that you should know better, and not to allow yourself to be made to do things that will not be proper. Let me read to you the Finance and Audit Act 2004, Local Government Finance and Audit Act 2004. It says, page 6, Revenue and Funds of Council, Section 4. The revenue and funds of council include all sums of money or funds accruing to a council without prejudice to the generality of Section 1. The revenue and funds of council consist of A, monies derived from rates imposed by the council under or pursuant to the provisions of this act. B, local taxes. C, monies payable to a council under the provisions of any other enactment. D, monies derived from license, permits, dues, charges, fees, or royalties. E. Receipts derived from any public utility concern or any service of undertaking belonging to or maintained by a council, either in whole or in part. F. Rents derived from the letting or leasing of any building or land belonging to a council. G. Project funds, donations, and grants other than from general revenue. Do you see that?
Yes.
So the list goes on. H. Endowments. I. Sums appropriated by National Assembly. J. Any sums of money which may lawfully be assigned to a council by any public corporation. K. Returns on investment. And such other sums of money as may be granted to a council by any other council. So this comprises of the revenue of council.
Right.
Donations once received, but it becomes council's property.
Revenue, yeah.
Council's revenue. Do you understand?
Yes.
So it should be subject to the relevant laws that guides the how monies are received and spent. It has to be in accordance with the laws. Not for someone to say, no, you have money, I have negotiated with XYZ, this is the amount, is the best deal you have, pay the money. No, it's not an individual's interest. Do you understand?
Yes, I totally agree.
So
Council.
that is the issue we have. And so this procurement did not follow any procurement regulation or guidelines or the act.
It did not follow due process because even the procurement manager, after we received instruction to pay Simon Madi the amount, Simon A. Madi,
Yes.
the procurement manager at the time was Fatu Saho, was instructed to prepare the documents. When she came to my office, she raised the issue and we discussed over it, but we did not have much authority or power to do otherwise.
Why?
Because of the environment.
What environment?
Council, I said it in my statement.
Oh, I know you.
It was intimidating. The environment was intimidating, and we were forced to do things that we did not want to do.
Yes.
Yes.
But next time, don't do it.
I learned my lesson.
It is easier to say, I will not do it and lose your job than do what someone else's want to save your job. You don't have to tell me.
Like in the case of the example of the former acting CEOs.
Yes.
Yes.
Who was the acting CEO?
Salam and Jai.
Yes.
Yeah, her case was always brought up, as a means of intimidating me that if I don't do what they want me to do, they will resolve not to work with me.
Yes.
And that's what exactly they did to me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You have a point. I think they've heard you, the commissioners have heard you. Salama will come, will explain. KMC have not kept a CEO that is consistent for a long time, since 2018. I haven't seen one. We want to have consistency in our public office. We don't have it. And so evidence is very important. But the idea that you have a TOR, the idea that people are employed in the public service and they have their TOR, what they should do or what they cannot do, is important. So that moving forward, we know nobody should make you do things that you don't want to do or would be wrong. We don't set up the public institutions to allow one person to control it. No. Any institution.
Thank you. I think if we are a sort of our protection in the course of executing our duties.
Individuals' interest, Madam Martin. It's my only point that we as a people must understand that when we serve the public, we rather go home and sit than be there and be made to do things that are wrong. You understand that?
Yes.
That's the idea. Well, at least that's my individual belief.
Thank you.
Now, any questions regarding the COVID-19?
I have some of these documents. Okay. Let's read.
Let me see. Okay.
Well, you left in 2021.
Yes.
July.
Yes.
That was towards the end of COVID-19.
Yes.
As at the time you were leaving, Was there any reconciliation done as to the funds you've received, what expenses you have made, what is your balance as to what you have received so far?
I think the COVID-19 file was requested from my office by an auditor that was contracted by the task force to audit the expenditures, the activities. But I don't think the report was submitted in my presence. I cannot. Was it? Yeah, I think it was for that of the funds received. I think the report was submitted.
Please write down and note to check whether an audit was conducted, whether any report was produced as to
Okay.
how the funds were
Okay. Thank you.
expended.
All right. So I have some of these documents that I was supposed to provide to the commission, but the guarantees of the welfare by the previous CEOs, I engaged the bank on Friday, and they said they have to receive a letter from the commission, and they themselves will deliver the guarantees themselves. Yes, so I have these ones. This one, Madam Chairperson, you requested to confirm the date. I have the original letter of the letter from Almond Company. It was on the 16th of March, 2020. And this is the facility offer from Ajit Bank to the welfare.
We apply the different documents. A letter from Almond Real Estate, signed by Ali Danso. A letter from Lamin Keture and family, Gujur Village West Coast Region. Addressed to Ali Danso, CEO Almond Real Estate, with the heading termination of contract. Ajib Bank, a facility offer letter. Addressed to the President, KMC Staff Welfare Association, into evidence as
Please make copies for.
Madam Sonko, you may make the application and request for copies. I'm going to retain the originals and we will avail you copies.
Thank you. Madam Chair, please, for no-fly contract also, termination of the no-fly contract and the resolution for the embargo on loans and medical policy at the council and the restraining order from the court. I think the commission should order the council to provide those copies because I would not have access to them. Those are the 3 documents that are pending.
Madam Sonko, that is noted.
Thank you. Okay. Okay.
A letter dated the 7th of November 2020. It is from Almont Real Estate, signed by Aliu Danson, CEO. A letter dated the 29th of August 2021 from Lamin K. Ture and family, Gundur Village, West Coast Region, addressed to Aliu Danso, CEO, Almont Real Estate, with the subject termination of contract. It is copied to the SO Gunjur Police Station, Alkalo Gunjur, Kunkujang Village, and the KMC Staff Welfare Association. The letter is signed by Lamin K. Ture and family. A facility offer letter from Ajib Bank dated the 29th of June 2020, addressed to the President, KMC Staff Welfare Association. It is signed by Bakari Jawa, President of the KMC Staff Welfare Association, and Bubakar Sanyan, the Treasurer, Kanifing Municipal Council Staff Welfare Association. It is dated the 1st of July 2021. These three documents are admitted together in evidence as exhibit, and they are marked as LGC/SMS/KMC/012.
Let's perhaps the culture places. I don't get it. We have 2 vouchers from AMCC Enterprise. You've dealt with AMC Enterprise when you were CEO. Let me show you the 2 vouchers.
Okay.
There appears to be 2 payments, about double payments are made to AMCC, but just please check these 2 vouchers.
Double payments.
Just check the vouchers first. You tell us whether it is your time as CEO and whether you assign these vouchers.
Yes, I signed these vouchers.
Both vouchers?
Mm-hmm.
What were those payments for?
That is hiring of bulldozer D6 for dressing of waste at Bakote dump site. And this one too is hiring of bulldozer D6 for, I think, I want to believe it's dressing of waste at Bakote dump site.
Okay, may I please see the 2? We apply to tender the following vouchers. The first is dated the 8th of February 2021, paid to AMCC Enterprise, $175,000. The second, 24th of February 2021, paid to AMCC Enterprise. to have them admitted into evidence and marked accordingly.
A payment voucher dated the 24th of February 2021 with voucher number PV210409 and a payment voucher dated the 8th of February 2021 with PV number PV210405. These two payment vouchers are admitted in evidence as exhibit and they are marked as LGC/SMS/KMC/013.
Ask Commissioner, please. May I please see Exhibit 013? And Ms. Sonko, these were not the double payments. We have another two vouchers that appears to be double payment. But I will show you these vouchers. These payments made to AMCC are similar to the ones made to Lankaramo Suware for the dress of the backward domicile. How do you guys follow procurement in relation to the hiring of these contractors?
Normally the identification of the contractor
Yes.
Is done and then forwarded to the CEO's office.
Yes.
Yes. In fact, I found both Lang and AMCC. Yeah, dealing with the council.
Yes.
Yes.
They appear to be the only people dealing with the council, and they don't even follow procurement. Most of these forms, the procurement officer testified, they were merely procedures that they just follow.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
And did you sit over this at the contracts committee level?
No, normally it's not forwarded.
Why?
Because
contracts awarded must follow due process.
No, when I started treating these payments, I advised the director of services that they should try and have a service level agreement with AMCC because he was the one with the machineries.
Yes.
For such kind of works, for his issue to be taken to GPPA.
Yes.
Yeah, for GPPA to approve.
Yes.
For council to have a service level agreement with AMCC.
Yes.
Yes.
So, but why was it not done?
I believe on
because the law says for every procurement it has to be strictly in line with Procurement Act and regulation. Strictly.
That's right.
That's why were payments made to AMCC continuously and Lankaramo without following due process.
In the case of these procurements, it was complicated.
Why?
It was
How?
because the understanding I had was they are the ones who do this kind of works.
But we don't know.
And they have been doing it for the council since 2018.
Yes, but we don't know that. No one knows that. That could be true. But do you want to run an institution based on just mere opinion?
It was not only Lang, but in the case of the dressings, it's mostly Lang and AMC. But in the case of even the drains cleaning,
Yes.
they have their list of contractors.
Yes.
That they always give the contracts to.
Yeah.
Yes.
But my point is, it doesn't even follow due process in the first place.
No, it did not.
Do you know whether KMC will embark on a market survey at the procurement level to know? Because you would have had your procurement plan for the year, correct?
Yes.
You have your budget, you have your plan for the year, and so there should be a market survey to know the items that you would be procuring, the services that you'll be procuring, and what the prevailing market price would be, and who would be the people to generally deal with these products or these services.
That's right. That should be the case.
Yes, but that's not done.
No.
Madam Sonko, on the issue of Mr. Sisi and Lankaramo, looking at the vouchers and looking at the work they do, we have realized that AMCC is the one that has the machinery.
Yes.
And yet still it was contracted to another party who goes to contract Mr. Sisi. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. But I think that is because they had issues with AMCC. There was a time they owe him a lot of money, and he was refusing to lend them, or he was refusing to receive contracts from them. So they resorted to going through Lang, who would also subcontract or would hire from AMCC.
So then how would that not be too expensive?
It is extremely expensive. It is extremely expensive.
Because if another party is given the contract, the party would add up his markup,
Obviously.
able to hire this.
Obviously.
Now, why didn't the council consider purchasing its own dresser and bulldozer?
I think they had applied to the central government and they were giving 2 bulldozers, D8 and D9. But even those bulldozers were not maintained by the council. At that time, I was not the CEO, but I found those issues there when I became the CEO.
So, in your opinion, do you think it is more economical, given the nature of the dump site, being one of the biggest municipalities that generates so much waste?
Mhm.
Don't you think it is prudent for them to have their own dresser and bulldozer and continually make attempts to make sure that those ones are functional in order to be able to maximize the resources expended in the dressing and in the dredging of the dump site?
Definitely, it would have been less costly to the council if they had maintained those bulldozers. They went up to the extent of spending $1 million to maintain the bulldozers, and nothing was achieved out of that $1 million. That was a big waste.
When you, as a CEO, when you made the projection as to how much is expended on the dredging and the packing of the dump site, when you made your projection in terms of expenditure, did you make any consideration
To
making sure that you advise council to purchase their own equipment?
No, the equipments are really expensive. Yes, they are extremely expensive for council to afford. But since they had the opportunity of um, being availed with at least one, if I had,
You said two, D8.
yeah, two, rather.
Were they functional when they were given?
Please,
Were they functional? Were those?
they were functional.
They were.
Yes, they were
functional.
functional. Yes. So I think
was it during your time? Did you find them there, or they came in your presence? I'll see you.
I found them even not functioning. Yeah.
Thank you. Continue, may proceed.
We have two vouchers. Well, not two, but I have a voucher here that I want to show you. It's PB 2012-69. The date is 10th of September 2020. It's a payments made to you. It says being refund of his cost of credit. I think it's her cost of credit to make calls related to her job as per claim attached. $5,000. Please have it. Hold on a minute. The other one is PV 201633. Date is 3rd of November 2020 as well. Says being refunded for cost of telephone expenses for the month of October 2020 as per memo attached. Please go through these vouchers.
Yes. These are payments made to me.
May I please have the vouchers? We apply tender two vouchers. The first is PV 201269. The date is 10th of September 2020. $5,000 is paid to the witness for refund of credit used to make calls related to her job as per claims attached. And the second is PV 201633, 3rd of November 2020, $5,000 as well. Into evidence assets, but
a payment voucher dated the 10th of September 2020 with voucher number PV201269 and a payment voucher dated the 3rd of November 2020 with PV number PV201633. These two payment vouchers are admitted in evidence as exhibit and they are marked as LGC/SMS/KMC/014.
As the commission places. May the witness please be given exhibit 014. Yes. So both the vouchers were refunded to you,
Yes.
$5,000. Why were you refunded $5,000 in two separate occasions?
This was a facility for the CEO, and the credit. My line was on postpaid, and I had issues because it's not only the CEO who is benefiting from this. It's the CEO, the deputy CEO. We have our different amounts as per the category. Even the mayor, is giving, I think, about $10,000 monthly for telephone. But normally, it is not included in your salary. It is paid to the GSM company. So my line was on postpaid, and $5,000 is about 2 weeks into the month. When I want to make calls, I will realize that the credit is exhausted, and I couldn't understand why. And that happened for about 2-3 months, and I became fed up with it. So the amount was just too much for it to be exhausted within 2 months. We investigated with QCell and it could not be established. So I discussed with the management and I decided that now let me put it on postpaid. But they said that I have to buy the credit and claim the refunds.
Who said that in the credit? Who advised that?
No, it was an advice by the deputy director of because he was the one in charge of these credit payments. He received the invoices and processed the payments. So I had discussed it with him, and he advised that we do it that way to simplify things.
Well, I don't know, but was the issue with your telephone ever sorted out?
Yes.
At what point?
The 5,000 buying prepaid is more beneficial and cost effective because when you buy your credit, you will have your free credits as well. So sometimes I use it for more than a month, even before needing to top up.
What of you prefer prepaid or that your client has an issue?
No, it's not the line. I just had problem with the usage of the credit, and it could not be established. It could not be explained.
So how much? So you prefer to be paid prepaid?
Yeah, I prefer to go prepaid.
But then the amount allocated was $5,000.
Yeah, that's $5,000.
That's in your
to the CEO. Yes.
Your appointment letter. Is it in your appointment letter?
No, it's allowances that I found there created for the CEO.
But they're not captured in your appointment letter as well.
No.
Or was the allowance a resolution that was passed, or how was?
Please repeat that.
How did this allowance? How did you arrive as a council? How did they determine this allowance? Paid to the CEO, the mayor, and the deputy.
I want to believe it was determined at a meeting. Yeah.
At a senior management meeting, or
maybe at a council meeting.
Council meeting.
Yes.
Or you don't know. You found that there was a culture.
Yes. I have approved a lot of payments for credits for the mayor, the deputy mayor, myself, and the other directors, the deputy CEO.
But not captured in your appointment letters, and also you could not tell the commission whether it was a council resolution or it was a senior management decision. How council came about?
Unless we find out.
Yes, we will need information regarding that.
Yes.
Because your allowance generally would have been captured in your, if you are appointed, correct?
Appointment letter.
Your grade as well will show what your income would be. If there are other allowances that you are entitled to, it will be very much clearly spelled out. So if there are other allowances, for instance, credit.
I didn't have issue with it because I had experience of such from where I worked before,
Yes.
both Gamtel and GBOS.
Yes.
That upon the allowances that are captured in the appointment letter, you are giving a credit allowance.
That doesn't make it right. The experiences or practices of other institutions.
So that is why I did not have issue with
I
it.
understand.
Yes.
I'm just trying to find out what brought about the credit allowance that's outside the approved allowances when you were appointed as CEO. So we just want to understand how it came about. For the staff to be allocated credit, is it for you 5,000 as a deputy CEO? How much? Do you know? Or how many people benefit from this credit allowance? Do you know?
I know the mayor, the deputy mayor, myself, the directors, even the dongles, council pay for it, the internet dongles.
So help us with the decision that was taken in relation to who would be qualified on what basis.
Okay, again, in that case, Madam Chair, I would apply for the commission to order for the council to provide that information. Right now, I cannot access anything from there.
Very well. We will look into that.
I just ask, Madam, if I may get your evidence, you have said that this is not part of the allowances that are stated.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any allowances that are not part of the allowances that have been stipulated that are paid aside from this telephone allowance?
The sitting allowances
are not stipulated.
Yes, and they are paid.
Yes, and what else?
Yeah, the sitting allowances, general council meetings, committee meetings. Yes.
Now, if these allowances are not captured, how do you reflect them in the budget?
No, they are budgeted as sitting allowances.
Head these allowances in your budget. How do you head them?
They are categorized as sitting allowances. I believe also the credit allowances, there must be a budget line for it.
So you have identified it on a particular budget line?
Yes.
No. Okay, we when we come to deal with the finances, we will look at it.
Yes.
Because if not, it would you do agree with me.
I know
it will be a problem for you to be able to have a balanced budget. Because if expenditures are excluded from what is contained and approved either by the council or otherwise, then there will be a problem in terms of reconciling the budget at the end of the year. Is that not correct?
Yes, but when budgeting for the year, for each department, the allowances, everything is captured under that department's salaries and allowances. And the sitting allowances also are budgeted separately. Committee meetings, general council meetings are all budgeted.
Okay. When we deal with the budgets, we will look at where this is.
Okay. Okay.
Council, may I just ask one question? This is in relation to the issue of the EOTech. And we have had evidence that the baseline that you gave EOTech, sorry, before I get to that point, when you came in, was EOTech agreement negotiated in your presence as CEO?
Yes.
From the beginning?
Yes, from the beginning.
So you knew everything about the EOTech?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Now, why would the council give EOTech a baseline that is not realistic?
That is not realistic. A baseline of
1.6 million.
EOTech are the one who promise that they can make up to that amount.
No. We have had evidence from Mr. Manet, who sat where you sat and said they have written to the effect that, in fact, you did not, they requested for your financial documents so that they would be able to make assessment as to whether it is realistic to pay that 1.6 million as their monthly earnable income from the drugs. And after 1 month, they realized, after a period of time, they realized they could only earn from $800,000 to $900,000. Were you aware of that? And there were correspondences to that effect.
No. During the trial period, there was a one that 1.8 million was realized. I think that was the reason why we gave them a baseline of 1.6.
So you are saying the 1.6 was a realistic figure. So you are telling us that the 1.6 was a realistic figure.
It was a realistic figure.
Now, we will want you to note to get us the evidence that when they did their trials, they were able to generate 1.8 per month, because we had a different evidence. We had different evidence to that effect.
That would be difficult, but because
yes, we will note. You will make the application and we will make the order for them to provide that information.
Okay.
All right. So now, please go to page 9 of your statement and read the second paragraph up to the line which says EOTech even after the contract awarded. That is from even though we had endless hitches in the process. Read up to where it says EOTech even after the contract awarded. And I will ask you the question that I want you to clarify.
On page 9.
Page 9, yes.
Okay. So you want me to start from part 2, right? Regarding
read from the second paragraph, that is under part 2, second paragraph.
Even though we had endless hitches.
Yes. And you end at EOTech even after the contract awarded. You end at that point.
Okay. Even though we had endless hitches in the process, we were able to complete the tender process and have the contract awarded to EOTech in line with GPPA regulations. While all these were happening, some unscrupulous councillors were going behind the scenes and making EOTech believe that without their support, they would not be awarded the contract. Until one day, the other partner, Mr. Gaston Francis Meltus of EOTech, complained to me about the endless bribes the so-called councillors are demanding from them. Are demanding from him. From EOTech rather, are demanding from EOTech even after the contract award. Then
well, yes, please stop there. We'll deal with the other ones at the appropriate time.
Okay.
So what do you mean when you made this statement?
Yes, I explained it here that I received several complaints from Gaston that councillors would go to him and request for support. Yeah, for their community activities. Like,
do you know when you said request for support and bribe are two different things? That is what I want to clear. I said, do you know a request for support is different from asking for bribery?
Because they make them to believe that if they do not support them, they wouldn't be awarded the contract. So that is bribery.
Your understanding is that they were asking bribes.
Bribery, so that councillors will support them to be awarded the contract.
So purposes of clarity, your understanding is that these councillors were asking bribes
Yes.
from Mr. Gaston
Yes.
Meltos.
Yes.
Thank you. Council, you may proceed.
Let me read you your offer of appointment.
Sorry, I think it's already 1 o'clock, so we may a convenient point to stop. We may rise.